Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Truth Speaker Tarot. If this is your first time here tuning in with me, make sure you hit the subscribe button for me, alright? So welcome to another segment of Learning with Truth Speaker, okay? So in the last segment, y'all, we covered basic astronomy, okay? So we were looking at the planets in our solar system, the order of the planets from the sun, basic meanings of the planets, whether they are masculine or feminine, okay? And so this information is specifically going to be good for those of you who are beginners in astrology. Also for those of you who are going to be interested in, interpreting your birth chart, learning how to read your birth chart, and just getting more into the ancient sciences, okay? So go along with your spiritual journey. I feel like these are tools and we should use them to better help ourselves, to benefit us, guys. There's so much you can get from astrology. I feel like it's very important for us to learn the place in which we live, because to me it's going to be virtually impossible for you to really know yourself if you don't really know the place in which you live, okay? We have to come to an understanding that everything means something, all right? So the planets are not just sitting out there for no reason to look pretty, okay? They mean something. Everything is about energy and vibration, all right? And you can learn a lot about yourself through astrology. You can also find ways to elevate yourself to the next level using astrology, okay? So it's so many different things you can get today. So this is a beginner's friendly video, y'all. And if you missed the last video with some of the things we covered as far as the basic lesson in astronomy, the planets in our solar system, how they are arranged closest from the sun, the basic meaning of those planets, whether they're masculine or feminine. We also did cover the four elements, okay? And so this right here, it plays a lot into going into the astrological signs, okay? So if you missed that video, I suggest you go back and look at it if you're interested in this information. Take notes, all right, so that you can move on. So in this segment, y'all, we're going to get more so into the astrological signs, okay? So we talk about the zodiac signs, all right? So we know that there are 12 zodiac signs. All right, some of you may be familiar with that, especially those of you who are in tarot, okay? So for the zodiac signs, there's 12 zodiac signs. For each of those elements that we talked about, the four elements, so we talked about air, we talked about water, we talked about fire, and we talked about earth, okay? And we talked about whether those energies are masculine or feminine. So we know that air and fire are masculine, water and earth are feminine, okay? So for each astrological sign, they represent a certain element too, all right? Also with the masculine and feminine thing too, all right? But we're going to see that as we go along, all right? I'm going to try to make this interesting. I'm going to try to make it as plain and simple, because some people think astrology is real hard to learn. It's really not. Once you understand the basic concepts and the basic elements, that goes into it, then it becomes much easier, okay? But don't rush yourself. Make sure that you're studying. Make sure it's a lot of things to memorize, okay? A lot of it is about a lot of it is a numbers game. I like to say that it's a numbers game, okay? It's about numbers, all right? So anyway, let's start with the 12 zodiac signs, y'all. Let's look at them. We're gonna look into whether they're masculine, the planetary ruler for each planet, all of that good stuff, okay? So number one, Aries, okay? I'm an Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, okay? It is a cardinal sign, meaning that it is a beginner, okay? It is a beginner in the zodiac, so it's a starter. We like to call any cardinal signs the starters, okay? And I might save the cardinal fixed mutable sign thing into the end, all right? Just to not confuse, all right? So first sign, Aries. I'm an Aries, all right? Aries is a fire sign energy, okay? It is very masculine. The planetary ruler for Aries is Mars, okay? So if you remember what we said about Mars in the last video, Mars is the planet of action, is the planet of war, all right? So Aries kind of expands the meaning of that, okay? So its planetary ruler is Mars. So Aries is all about individuality. It is about taking action, okay? It is also fiery energy, so it's kind of warlike. It could represent, like, depending on where it is in your birth chart, it could represent like anger or different things, y'all. It's so much you could get from the birth chart, but the basic meaning behind Aries is that it is the sign of action, all right? Taking action. Aries are leaders, okay? So they're leaders. It's leadership, action, okay? Forward movement, those kind of things, okay? So again, it is masculine. It is a fire sign energy. Its planetary ruler is Mars, okay? So these are the basic meanings, all right? As we go along with the lessons, we're going to expand on it, okay? Because it's so, like I say, it's so much you can get, but what you want to know is the basic meanings first, okay? So number 2 in the zodiac sign, that is Taurus, okay? So Taurus is a earth sign energy. It is a feminine energy, okay? And Taurus represents values, okay? So if you remember from the last video when we talked about the planets and their meaning, the planet that I said was of values was Venus, okay? So Venus is the planet of love, values, okay? And it's so much we can expand and take from that, guys, all right? Because when you think of values, you think about money, you think about work, you know, finances, family, those kind of things, okay? So Taurus is the sign of values. You know, in your birth chart, it will represent your house of money, okay? It could also be like your house of work, okay? Family, things that you value, all right? So that's the basic meaning, okay? And it is a earth sign energy, all right? And its planetary ruler again is Venus, okay? So let's move on. Number 3, all right? And keep in mind, y'all, the way they're numbered, this is the order of the zodiac signs, okay? It's 12. All right, so this is the order of them. So first you have Aries, you have Taurus. Number 3, you have Gemini. It's very important to keep up with the numbering, okay? That's why I say it's the numbers game, all right? We're going to see that as we move along, especially when it comes down to dealing with your birth chart, okay? It is a numbers game. Remember the numbers, okay? So 3 is Gemini, okay? So Gemini is an air sign. Gemini is a masculine energy. Gemini's planetary ruler is Mercury, okay? So remember what we said about Mercury? Gemini is the sign of communication. Mercury is the planet of communication, okay? So keep that in mind. It's a planet of communication. Now, when it comes down to expanding on that in your birth chart, it's also like the planet of, it's the planet of intellect, okay? It's the planet of siblings, okay? All of that, all right? And we're going to expand on that more. But the basics you need to know about Gemini is that it is the sign of communication. Its planetary ruler is Mercury. It is an air sign energy, and it is masculine, okay? So let's move on to 4, guys. The 4th zodiac sign is going to be Cancer, okay? So the ruler for Cancer is not a planet, all right? So the ruler for Cancer is the moon, all right? So the moon represents, you know, our emotions, okay? It also represents ancestry, okay? So that's what the moon represents. And that is the planetary ruler of Cancer. It also represents the family, okay? Like your roots, all right? So it is a feminine energy, and it is a water sign, okay? So that's what we need to remember. I'm trying to think, in the last video, did I cover the moon? I think I did cover the moon. But y'all let me know if I missed it. If y'all look at video 1, y'all let me know if I missed it. Because I might have missed it, all right? I be missing things sometimes too. All right, but let's move on to number 5, all right? So number 5, we have Leo, all right? So Leo. We already know Leo is like the stars of the zodiac, okay? They are represented by number 5. So Leo is the star of the zodiac. Their planetary ruler, we already know, is the sun, okay? That's why they got to be the star of the zodiac. Like, they all in open, you know, they in the center of attention and shit, you know. That's just what Leo do, all right? So Leo's planetary ruler is the sun. Leo is a fire sign, and it is a masculine energy, okay? So Leo would represent your house of like children, okay? Fame, success, okay? Anything that you can think of the sun, right? So what are some things that, you know, I told y'all is so much that you can get from it, y'all. So when you think of the sun, what do you think of, right? The center of attention, the star of the show, right? Like we went over in the first lesson, our star in our solar system is what? The sun, right? So that's going to be the center of attention. You know, you can also think of it as the life giver, okay? But when it comes down to the birth chart, that will be your house of fame, fame and fortune, your house of children also, okay? And we're going to learn more about that as we go along. But the basics you need to know is that Leo is the 5th zodiac sign. Its planetary ruler is the sun. It is a masculine fire sign energy, okay? So number 6, all right, Virgo, okay? So Virgo is an earth sign. Okay, it is a feminine energy. Its planetary ruler is also Mercury. Okay, which is, we already said Mercury is the sign of communication. Now, expanding on that, Virgo will be the sign of, will represent your work, your structure. Okay, Virgo is very practical energy. Okay, excuse me, I told y'all I'm sick, so I might be sniffing a little bit. All right. Excuse me, y'all. I had to kind of push myself out bed today, y'all, because I was feeling bad. All right, but anyway, I ain't gonna get carried away. But Virgo, so its planetary ruler is Mercury. We're gonna get some more into Virgo as we move along, but the basics you need to know is the planetary ruler is Mercury. It is feminine, earth sign energy. Okay, so 7 is Libra. Okay, Libra, number 7. So Libra is an air sign energy. The planetary ruler for Libra is also Venus, okay, which is the planet of love. Okay, it is a air sign masculine energy. All right. So when we think of Libra and we think of its planetary ruler, so we know Venus is the planet of love. Okay, also values. So when we think of Libra, Libra is a sign of partnerships. Okay, so it makes sense that its planetary ruler is Venus. So that's partnerships is marriage. Okay, work relationships, those kind of things. Okay, also justice. It represents justice. Okay, also that makes sense that this planetary ruler is Venus because it represents that justice, karmic justice. It's so many different things you can get, y'all. I'm telling y'all, practical justice, like in a justice system. So when you see that, especially when it comes down to the tarot, that's what the justice card represents. That is Libra energy, okay? But anyway, the main thing you need to know about Libra is the planetary ruler is Venus. It is a masculine air sign energy, okay? So let's move on to number 8, y'all. Number 8 is going to be Scorpio. Scorpio, okay? So, Scorpio. Its planetary ruler is Pluto. You already know what we said about Pluto. Pluto is all about transformation, right? Very slow moving energy, okay? Very important to pay attention to. This is one of the placements that I always tell people to pay attention to in their birth chart, okay? Pluto. You want to pay attention to what Pluto is, all right? So Pluto is Scorpio is a water sign energy, okay? It is feminine. Its planetary ruler is Pluto. All right, so when we think about Scorpio, we think about transformation. Scorpio also represents sex when you're looking in a birth chart and stuff like that. Okay, it's a very emotional energy because it's represented by water. Okay, but it's also a very mysterious type of energy. Okay, so some people you might know who are Scorpios, they might be kind of mysterious, like they have a mysteriousness to them. All right, and this will also represent wherever Pluto is in your birth chart. You want to pay attention to that because that will show where you're going to probably have the most transformation at. Okay, and depending on where it's at, like for me, mine is in the first house, right? So that's connected to my identity, right? So a lot of different identity shifts. Okay, a lot of, you could say, people with Pluto in the first house might have a lot of identity crisis because they it's a transformation thing, right? So you're constantly evolving, you're constantly transforming, okay? So you might always look different to people, okay? So that's just one of the things there. All right, so that's kind of how you look at that kind of stuff. But let's move along. I don't want the video to be too long. We're going to get into all of that, y'all. I'm going to break down each sign in another video, but I feel like it's important to get down the basic information so you can connect the dots with the first video to know what planet goes with what zodiac sign, okay? So number 9 is Sagittarius, okay? Number 9 is a fire sign energy. It is masculine, and its planetary ruler is Jupiter. Okay, so Jupiter, we know we said about Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and blessings, luck. Okay, so when you think of Sagittarius, wherever you see whenever you think of Sagittarius, think of expansion. Okay, so that's kind of like education, that's like traveling. Okay, that's what Sagittarius really represents. All right, it's the sign of higher education. It could also be the sign of teaching, travel. Okay, long-term travel, or long range travel, however you want to say it. Okay, traveling to different countries, those kind of things. All right, but that is like like the spiritual guru, the spiritual leader, the educator. Okay, constantly seeking education, seeking to expand. But it's also You know, its planetary ruler is Jupiter, so it represents those blessings. All right, so it's very expansive. Okay. So, but the basics to know about Sagittarius, we're gonna get more into that, of course, is that its planetary ruler is Jupiter. It is a masculine fire sign energy. Okay. So number 10, Capricorn. All right. So Capricorn is an earth sign, feminine energy. Its planetary ruler is Saturn. Okay. So we know what we said about Saturn. Saturn is the planet of restrictions, lessons, and karma. Okay. So Capricorn, it is an earth sign energy. It really is a sign of maturity. Okay. Work, career, business. Okay, that's what kind of Capricorn kind of represents, especially when we get into the birth chart. It's a real practical, earthly, grounded energy, I would say. Okay. Capricorns are usually, you know, hard workers. All right, very focused. Okay. But a lot comes with that, and you know, it all just depends on what else you have in your birth chart too. So I don't want to generalize Capricorn, but you know, their planetary ruler is Saturn. And we know that Saturn is you know, like connected to time, father time, those restrictions. All right, so you always want to pay attention to your Saturn placements, because that's really going to tell you where your main lessons are going to be at. Okay. And where you should apply more focus at. All right, we're gonna move on though. So 11 is Aquarius. Okay, and yes, we are in the age of Aquarius. We need to know that that is an air sign energy. It is masculine, and its planetary ruler is Uranus. Okay, Uranus. So we already know Uranus is about a brand new perspective. Uranus is about you know, gain new perspectives, abrupt changes, those kind of things. Okay, so it almost is like kind of like the Tower card energy in the tarot. All right, kind of like those abrupt changes, like just like that. Okay, so when we think of Aquarius, Aquarius, especially when it comes down to the birth chart, Aquarius represents, you know, your house of friends. Okay, it also represents like leadership. Okay, and just like those brand new perspectives. Okay, that's what kind of like what I get from Aquarius. Okay, in a nutshell. All right, because it's so much more you can get from there. But we are in the age of Aquarius. This is the age of knowing. This is the age of taking action. All of that different stuff. Okay, so the main thing to know about Aquarius is planetary ruler is Uranus. It's a masculine earth sign energy. Okay, so let's get to number 12 finally. Pisces. Okay, Pisces is number 12. Pisces is a water sign energy. It is feminine. Its planetary ruler is Neptune. Okay, Neptune. So Neptune, we already know from the last video, Neptune is connected to the spiritual realm. Okay, it represents it's a very dreamy type of energy. All right, spiritual energy, like out of the dimension. Okay, beyond third dimensional energy. Okay, so it's really connected to the spiritual realm. All right, Pisces energy. Pisces are said to be like the most spiritually connected sign of the zodiac. Okay, because of its planetary ruler Neptune. All right, so it's a lot. It can be tricky, especially when it comes down to your birth chart. Okay, where it is, because Neptune makes everything, having Piscean and Neptune energy, okay, it makes everything a little bit more gloomy. Okay, so dreamy. You might have Pisces have a tendency to live in fantasy land. Okay, so I think my video about to end, y'all. I don't have that much time left, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But the main thing to know about Pisces, y'all, is that it is planetary ruler is Neptune. It is feminine energy, and it is a water sign. Okay, so I hope I didn't make this too long, y'all. I hope I didn't make it too boring. I hope everybody was able to get something from it. My video is about to end, so I'm kind of rushing. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe and like. And until the next time, y'all have a good day. All right, make sure y'all follow me on TikTok to join